Hello, singing friends. Where's the camera? I don't know where I am. I woke up from a nap. What day is it? Sorry, I've been having like really bad insomnia, and then I went back to sleep after I dropped the kids off today, and so I'm like really disoriented. But I'm here. It's your friendly neighborhood singing coach, Miki. And today I'm going to be doing a patron reaction request. This one comes from dun, 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 dun. Delay anticipation. Okay, it's from James Pratt, and he writes, he wants me to react to the band Larkin Poe, who are the Lovell sisters, Megan and Rebecca, and they are distant relatives of Edgar Allan Poe. He writes, he thinks their great-great-grandfather or great-great-great-grandfather Larkin was Edgar's cousin. And the song he's asked me to react to is Tom Devil. So went over to their Wikipedia, and it says, Larkin Poe is an American roots rock band originally from North Georgia, currently based in Nashville, and fronted by sisters Rebecca and Megan Lovell. Featuring strong Southern harmonies, heavy electric guitar riffs, and slide guitar, they are often touted as the little sisters of the Allman Brothers. They performed in 2014 and 2016 at the Glastonbury Festival and were voted Best Discovery of Glastonbury in 2014 by the UK's The Observer. They've also toured as backing musicians for Elvis Costello, Conor Oberst of Bright Eyes, Christian Bush of Sugarland, and Keith Urban. All right, they started as teenagers in the Lovell sisters with their older sister Jessica, and they released 2 independent albums and toured, and they were on A Prairie Home Companion. They performed at the Grand Ole Opry and Bonnaroo, and then disbanded in 2009. And then in 2010, the 2 remaining sisters regrouped as Larkin Poe, released a bunch of EPs, and then signed a record deal with RH Music, the music division of San Francisco-based company Restoration Hardware. Oh wow, I didn't know Restoration Hardware has a music label. I love that store for interior design. It's really interesting. Okay. And then in 2014, T-Burn Burnett tapped them to record harmonies and instrumentation on the new Basement tapes. And then they appeared in the documentary on Showtime of the same name. Then they performed at Glastonbury. Then they reissued their debut album, Reskinned, performed on Conan, appeared on Steven Tyler's album, We're All Somebody from Somewhere. Oh, love Aerosmith. And then performed as part of the backing band at the Music Cares tribute to Tom Petty in 2017. Their music has been on the show Lucifer. They have a very long, extensive resume, it appears. There's 2 other band members. Tarka Lehman plays bass, and Kevin McGowan plays drums. And it looks like Rebecca plays a whole buttload of instruments. She sings lead, plays electric guitar, acoustic guitar, mandolin, banjo, violin, piano, programs drums, bass, and arrangements. All right. And Megan sings harmonies and plays lap steel and dobro. So very talented multi-instrumentalist. Very cool. They've released 6 studio albums as Larkin Poe and 1 live album and 6 EPs. So it looks like they are the real deal here, and I'm excited to hear them. Let's jump right in and listen to this song live at the Convent Club in 2016. The song is called Tom Devil. As usual, I'll be stopping at least once, pausing the playback just so I don't get flagged or blocked, but I'll put the link to the Uninterrupted song in the description box below, as well as links to the courses that I have that are like self-paced online courses for piano and singing. And you can always reach out to me if you want to take a one-on-one lesson on piano, singing, ukulele, songwriting, any of that good stuff. And there's also 2 ways to ask me to react to a specific band or song. So you can find all that information down below. All right, I keep looking in the wrong place because I turned my camera around. So if I look like I'm staring off in this direction, because I'm used to the camera being on this side, but I know that you're there. I'm gonna try to keep that in mind. All right, so let's jump right in here and listen to Larkin Poe.
It's quite possibly one of the scariest songs in existence. Folks say that the devil's dead. Devil's dead. Though some folks say that the devil's dead. Devil's dead. I spy time devil at the head of my bed. Head of my bed. I spy time devil at the head of my bed, singing oh oh oh. Oh, 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 I don't cry, go away, devil, devil, leave me alone. I said it's too late to pray, you have done for days and days, days and days. Gotta kill in the devil, baby, till the sun goes down. Gotta kill in the devil, baby, till the sun goes down.
All right, this is a good place to pause it for a moment. So initial impressions, very cool. I really liked just the way that the video shot, you know, with the gramophone, with the fire coming out of it. It's just very striking. And then they look like they're playing inside of a church. I've never been to the Convent Club, but it looks really, really cool. Just the background setting is very dramatic and almost like gothic, you know? So it already like gets you in the mood for like an Edgar Allan Poe story, you know? I think, you know, the lead singer, they're both beautiful. The lead singer is really striking looking, you know, she's got like a really, really interesting, almost like model-esque appearance. So that's always like a bonus when somebody's like really attractive. Of course, it like makes you want to look at them, you know? So that's like another layer of compelling visuals, you know? And then I think it's a really uncharacteristic way to begin a song, to have it just be 3-part harmony and drums. So that kind of like off-kilter arrangement also is really compelling and draws you in right away as a listener. And I think she's got a really confident way of singing. She's got a really nice, strong, bluesy chest voice belt and almost like an unusual way of pronouncing words, you know? I'm interested in hearing her talk more to see if she speaks with an accent, because she is kind of like altering her vowel sounds and things in an interesting way that is not like typical. And I also really like how she's getting some grit. There's just like an uninhibited way that she's using her voice in her belt. It's not just like this deep kind of bluesy belt, but it's this deep bluesy belt that has no inhibitions, and it's really coming from like deep in her soul. And it's not exactly like, you know, she's not being careful about the way that she sings. It's like very free, and there are some liberties taken with like the pitch being exactly in the center of the note, but it has so much character, and there's like some grit and rasp on her voice sometimes. So it's just a really compelling, raw, kind of visceral way of singing in it. It sounds really, really great. I'm really enjoying it. And even like the harmonies that they picked were not the typical 3-part harmony intervals, and it gave it a little bit more like spookiness to it, the sound. So I'm really liking it so far. Pause it there again for a moment so I don't get flagged. So I really like the energy. It's like almost like controlled chaos, you know, like it's not exactly like perfectly polished or neat, you know, there's like a certain looseness about the way that they're playing and singing that I think gives it a really authentic flavor and like almost like more of like an alternative feel. I don't know how I would characterize this, maybe like dirty blues rock, you know? I really like the slide guitar and how it's played like, you know, lead electric. And I love the beat too, how it's like on the offbeat, it's like on the and, you know, of the drums and the bass, I guess, is the other instrument. And so they're like, she's playing on the downbeat and then the other instruments are playing on the offbeat. So it kind of gives it like this really interesting energy that really moves. And yeah, it's just a really interesting combination of sounds. Very cool. It's just got like a really kind of grimy alternative energy to it. Like I almost would say that this to me makes me feel similar to like listening to like Nirvana or something, where like clearly they are really good musicians and the songwriting is really good. But there's like a certain unpolished, chaotic energy to it that just like makes you want to like get up and dance or like, you know, start a mosh pit or something, you know, it's like not like super clean or like super like polished in its execution, which I actually really like. Very cool sound.
got the perfect one. I am a hair trigger loaded gun. I only hope that you can love me for the way that I am. When all is said and done, want you more than anyone. There's nothing left to do but love you for the way that you are. You are, you are. I love you for the way that you are. That you are, that you are. Love you for the way that you are. Kevin McGowan on the drums, ladies and gentlemen.
Cool. I love the way there was that accelerando at the end and it just like collapses into chaos. It keeps getting faster and faster and just like building anxiety. I really liked the way that they were playing their guitars, the two sisters. I like the way Megan was holding her slide guitar like a lap guitar, but obviously she's standing, you know. I loved their playing. And yeah, I mean, for me, I think it just, it feels like controlled chaos and there's like a certain like griminess to it. It feels like dirty blues rock and I really like that energy. I feel like it almost could come off the rails at any moment and that makes it exciting, you know, and I much prefer having that kind of like chaotic alternative energy to like something that feels very polished and perfect. I think she's got a really cool, interesting voice and the way that she's using it, she clearly is a really good singer, but she isn't trying to be perfect and like land every single note exactly in the center of the pitch. It's more about the emotion and that delivery, you know, and there's a lot of like bluesiness in the way that she's singing, almost like a little bit of like Janis Joplin, you know. Very, very cool. I think they're a very interesting sounding and compelling band, both sonically and visually. And I also just think the setting of the club is really beautiful and dark and gothic. So it really matches for like the great grandnieces of Edgar Allan Poe. So I thought that was cool. I definitely am interested in hearing more from them. They seem like they're really talented and have a really cool, unique vision. So I hope that you enjoyed my reaction. Thank you so much for the suggestion, James, and I'll see you guys here next time. Until then, take care. Oh, the other thing that I want to mention is I thought lyrically it was really interesting how it started off with like the devil's alive, you know? You think it's gonna be a song about like the supernatural and then it turns into like a very human kind of relationship song where like, who is the devil? It's like, it's us, you know, we're imperfect and it's kind of like taking Come As You Are, the theme of that, as like, you know, turning it around and being like, I have to accept you if you come as you are. Like that's what true love is, with all your flaws and all of your evil and whatever, even if you have like a bit of the devil in you, true love kind of overlooks that and you kind of have to live with the person as they are and not try to change them. So that's kind of what I took away from the song lyrically. I thought it was a really interesting twist from like the intro being this kind of like supernatural devil's tale to being more like a human tale in the actual song itself. So let me know how you interpreted it and if you agree with my analysis. All right, see you guys next time. Until then, take care. And of course, happy singing. Bye.